Hey, good evening. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Susan Tully Lively Boardroom of the 1887 building. I'd like to start the evening out by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I could call the meeting to order and Tyler, take roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Andre.
Here.
Mayor Gordon.
Here.
Mrs. Ingersoll.
Here.
Mrs. Costa.
Here.
Mrs. Reckley's.
Here.
Mr. Scarrow.
Here.
Mrs. Bond.
Here.
Mr. Grieving.
Here.
And Ms. Krakowski.
Here. The meeting has been noticed per state statutes, and I did not receive any notification of anyone wanting to participate in community participation tonight. So we will move on to our middle school student presentation.
I'm obviously Ellen Blair, principal at the middle school, and I'm here to introduce Mackenzie Mackaw, who is our speech pathologist at the middle school. She's been with us for 2 years, and she's going to do a little presentation on Purple Cup.
Okay,
It's nice to meet you all. It's my first board meeting.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Not so scary.
So I'm talking about Purple Cup today. As you can see, it is more than just coffee. So let's start off with what is Purple Cup. So Purple Cup is a student-run coffee cart at the middle school that builds communication, vocational, and life skills through real-world practice. As you can see, there's a picture of those three right there. I'm in the middle. I am not a student.
Sorry.
I get mistaken for a student a lot, though. You can see Purple Cup in action. You can play the video if you'd like.
On the next page.
Yeah, it was on the next page. There you go.
Yes. So how does Purple Cup work? Well, first I send out a very well-crafted email, and I link the Purple Cup order form in there. Staff submit their orders on that order form. I turn their orders into visual cards, as you can see with the arrows right here. Students prepare the orders and then deliver them to staff. Thanks. So when you're working in special education, there are a lot of visual supports and tools that support student success. So one of those being the Purple Cup menu that features all of our stuff that we sell on there. And it displays all the items and the prices and supports the reading and visual recognition skills. I also create the individual order cards, as you saw on the previous slide, that shows the staff, the location, their order, and the price. So it's all in like little one thing that you could take on the go. And this also guides step-by-step completion for independence. Some more tools that we use, communication scripts. So a lot of things that we encounter with special education is difficulty in pragmatic language. So what's a way to support that is through scripting. So this supports greetings, interactions, and builds confidence with workplace communication. I also include for visual organization supports. Those are on all the cabinets in the kitchen that we do Purple Cup in. And also a task checklist, right? What's your first step? Wash your hands and put on the gloves, stuff like that. So some skills that students practice. This is a funny video that's actually just taken this morning because we had Purple Cup today. But communication and teamwork is probably the biggest thing that we practice, right? Greeting and delivering, using polite workplace language, practicing functional communication, working with peers and sharing those job roles and responsibilities. It's a huge part of learning vocational skills. The video is just him saying, "Hi, Mrs. Sweet," and he's talking about like candy. That's still like it's my favorite. So the next slide. So more students that are more skills that they practice, following directions, right? Using those order cards and checklists, following multi-step tasks, stuff that we're trying to get them to be able to do independently. Organization and responsibility, managing multiple orders. We frequently get like probably 12 per service day that we're doing it. Matching and checking the accuracy of those orders. And then I would say the biggest thing is those vocational and real world skills, workplace routines and expectations, completing tasks start to finish, right? Gives them a sense of accomplishment when they do that. Job responsibility, hygiene and food and drink safety, that's another big thing. Like, you know, nobody wants their drinks or food touched with their hands, right? Wash your hands, put on gloves. Also, don't touch, you know, a hot kettle when you're pouring the hot water. Functional reading, a lot of our students struggle with that foundational reading and math skills. So trying to implement into more of a functional way is, I guess, the best way to do it. And then lastly, building independence and confidence in the work setting. So here's just a quick video about what students like about Purple Cup. I'll have to edit the video, I couldn't fix it. All right, one more. Here are just some reviews of Purple Cup routines. We don't have to go through all of them, but as you can see, a lot of the staff love Purple Cup and seeing how it helps students. I know the big one over there is Miss Blair. She wrote a nice review. Testimonials. And then this last video, some cameos of staff. Oh, that was bad. And then just the last thing, I mean, we've been running Purple Cup since December of 2025. It's, I think, been around since around 2018, but kind of runs off and on. I picked it up this year. But we have 5 students participating. We've had 128 deliveries, 142 items delivered, 39 staff served, and $311 raised. So, okay, thank you.
Mr. Taba,
Yes.
the outside world says that we're not live, just so you know. I can't get into the meeting.
Says you have another meeting in progress.
Yeah.
apologies to those online. We were on a different meeting week.
Okay, well, we'll move on unless anybody has any other questions. Nope, okay. Moving on to our middle school overnight travel request to Italy.
I'm speaking on behalf of Jessica Reese. Would like to propose taking this trip to Italy. She wants, the group that she wants to take is actually this year's the class of 2030, which will then be in between their freshman and sophomore group, or freshman and sophomore year of high school when they take
When
the
they
actual
take
trip.
the trip. okay.
Yes, okay, because they
Okay,
want
so
to,
they're
because they're
currently
going to
freshmen.
DC and New York and stuff like that right now. Here you have current plans.
So they're currently freshmen.
Nope, they're currently eighth
Eighth
graders.
graders.
Oh,
So it'll be like in a year from now,
okay.
okay? Right now, they're doing the course of study,
Mhm,
and so the kids are really intrigued by then taking and seeing what they learned.
mhm.
And so the company just opened up a cross seas trip over there, and so she was kind of like, ooh, and the kids were like, we want to go, and all that kind of stuff. So that's through EF Tours, which she does.
Mhm.
The anticipated group, she said, was 12 kids, but she really thinks that could be closer to possibly 20 because a lot of kids said, my mom's willing to go with me, or my dad's willing to go with me, because it's obviously in Italy, right?
Mhm.
And so the ratio of people, chaperones to kids would be 6-1, unless they do for their European tours. The dates, they kind of have a flexible window of June. Requested travel dates are June 23rd through the 30th. But they have a little bit of a flexible window, right? With the going rates of $4,400 for a student and $5,100 for the adult. Okay, and then obviously where they be is going to Florence into Rome, Italy. They fly to and from Chicago in Italy, and then this is the round trip transportation, 2 meals a day, all admissions, hotel, all, and then all day course leader, coordinators, doctor on call, and transportation while they are in Italy, as well as gratuities for the trip as well. So, and again, it just kind of talks about then that on the second page, just the course alignment with what they're learning about now in 8th grade,
Mhm.
and how just like the kids are just excited to kind of see it actually in person,
Mhm.
and then what they learned about and translating into there.
Mhm.
So, like she's been taking, this will be, they went to DC, they're going to be going to New York, Boston this summer.
Got it.
And so they now, without them opening up over to Europe, she just kind of wants to take that next trip and kind of see what that looks like. So
So this would be open to any kids that are in between their freshman and sophomore year
Mhm.
in June of 2027.
Yep.
So it would be, it's not any specific class, it's any
Nope.
student who
Yep.
wants to go.
yeah, they would do the same type of exposure like they do out on the websites and in their classrooms, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But she's anticipating the kids from this year's class just because they really enjoyed learning about that
Sure.
region, and so
Is there a like twilight date that it has to be booked with EF to lock in these prices? Because
Yeah.
with jet fuel prices going sky high, anticipate that's gonna be reflected.
that I don't know.
Says the price is subject to change 3/31/2026.
Okay.
So they need to
Yeah.
have them within the next week.
Right, to guarantee these
guarantee
prices,
these prices.
and there's a flexibility.
But
So,
how many, I mean, you have to have commitments from students and parents by then as well?
right, for this price,
Yeah.
yes. So I don't know what her plan is, if she's trying to get that commitment now before the 31st,
Okay.
or if it's one of those where she's putting it out there after approval, and then to see what she gets in there, and then putting it out, that's what will be at that point, I don't know.
Okay.
So that was what you wanted to do, so.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you. I know that's sorry, it's difficult because you're not the one.
Yes, I'm hopefully going, but.
You are gonna go?
Yes, I've never been,
I know,
so this would be my way to go.
I know.
So I was like,
I know it's really tempting.
she had asked me, they needed one more, to go to the New York Boston trip. And I can't, cause I already have a family trip to go, so I said, no, but I'll go on your next one. She goes, you know where my next one is? Hopefully, for us, where? She goes, Italy, go, I'm in. It's out of enough where I can just put it on the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, then looking for a motion to approve.
I'm moving to approve the overnight travel request, Italy as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the overnight travel request to Italy as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, our next item is the overnight travel request from the FCCLA.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacey Jacobs, and I am a family consumer sciences teacher at Elkhorn Area High School. I'm also the assistant FCCLA advisor, along with Mrs. Waymeyer, who's busy catering an event tonight. So she asked me to come along. I brought two of my amazing officers, and they have an overnight request for you.
Oh, you sitting down?
It's all in here.
Hello, I'm Chisla Venegas. I am a junior and I am an FCCLA member.
I am Cole Travis and I'm also an FCCLA. I am the VP membership, so I deal with all of our snacks and our FCCLA week. I coordinate what we do and how we present, just and honor our either alumni, our current members, or lovely advisors.
I am secretary for our club, so I keep track of our attendance. I also help make locker posters and help keep our officers organized, reminding them about our meetings, different things we need to keep track of, as well as our meeting minutes. So just keeping track of what we do at our meetings and what we need to present for our next ones as well.
On the screen, it shows our mission, and that is to promote personal growth, leadership development through family and consumer sciences education, focusing on multiple roles of family member, wage earners, and community leader member development skills for life through character development, creative and critical thinking, interpersonal communications, practical knowledge, and career preparation. And that's also our little creed that we say before any sort of big event or opportunity that we have. Recently we're at sectionals, star events, and I participated in culinary knife skills, where I take a potato or a cucumber, a carrot, and I make it into very exact shapes and other sort of things, like a flower or a cucumber zebra is also something else I did.
Very cool.
I competed in Teacher Train this year, which is basically a career exploration presentation. So what I did was I researched a career in teaching first grade, and I got to shadow here at Jackson Elementary as well, and create and implement a lesson with some first graders here as well. But what we're here to ask today is for your permission to let us go on our overnight trip. I believe it's 3 days at the Kalahari in Wisconsin Dells. So we competed in regionals, I believe it was in February 16th, and we had many students who were able to score a silver or a gold and make it past that 80-point mark, which means you are eligible to compete at state level. And then depending on what competition you're competing in, you do get the opportunity to compete at nationals as well, which is in Washington, D.C. this year. But I think we have about 10 or more, 12 students who are going or hoping to go to the Kalahari this year to compete at state level.
Going to the Kalahari. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just was saying great.
Oh, yeah. We do go for 3 days, and our events are stretched over a 2-day period. So depending on your event, you would go either the first or second day that you're there. And then that third day is just kind of us to either go to the arcade or go to the water park. And while you're not in your event, yeah. At the beginning of the third day, we do give out awards, and if you make it past a certain point, you're allowed to go to nationals. Culinary Knife Skills does not have nationals, just because I'm cutting stuff up.
Okay.
But while you're not doing your event, they do have other sort of presentations that explain other events or other career opportunities that you can do. They also have college representatives there that you can walk around and say hi to if you are interested in that, being a senior or a junior like I am.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. And you guys, I'm assuming you have a couple of chaperones, thank you. Chaperones
Yes,
that are.
we do.
Mrs. Whitmire and I are both at 10.
Okay, good.
So the ratio is
Just
2 adults to 6 kids. Yeah,
Is Nwachuk coming?
Mr. Washak, no.
She-
And Giselle's amazing aunts are coming too, yes.
Yeah, so you have 12 students, 2 chaperones. Okay, perfect. Looking for, unless there's any other questions, looking for a motion to approve.
I move to approve the overnight travel request from the FCCLA as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the overnight travel request from the FCCLA as presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing how you guys did.
Next time you gotta bring a picture of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
How about a live demo?
If you have a potato.
We will.
Great work.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. And now we're moving on to another overnight travel request. This is one for.
I'm Christine Nera. If you remember, I was here last month to introduce you to our visitors from China. I'm Desiree Heckendorf-Reese, and I've chaperoned 2 trips previously out of the country with students from Elkhorn Prairie School District, and then I travel all the time. Last summer I was in Africa, and the summer before I spent a month in India and Sri Lanka.
Hello, Matthew Hanley. I'm a social studies teacher at high school. I was here like a few weeks ago. We went, but but I studied abroad in high school. That's
Okay.
So we're here because the school we partner with in China really would love for us to visit them again. The name of their school is the American International Academy. And because they have American in their name, they like to have American students and teachers go with it. We haven't done that in a long time. It's been since
2019.
2019 is the last time we went. So they kind of bring it up every time after they leave, and then it's so close to the upcoming summer that they say, oh, sorry, that's not enough time. And I kind of said that this time, and they were really bummed. And I said, okay, I remember that Des a few years back said, if you do another trip, I'd love to help, because I already have a commitment the time they want us to come. And so she said she would be happy to do it. And yeah, so they threw together an itinerary, and I think I came last year to propose it, and the travel warning was a 3 then. And like right after the meeting, it went back to level 2, which Spain and a lot of countries are. So anyway, it's been constantly 2 for a while, and seems to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would be gone June 1st to the 14th. And Christine did check with the school, and they said they don't have a problem if there are more adults than students, because I figured due to the short turnaround time, we could open it up to staff. And then of course, parents. I even think 5th graders, if a parent came with them, I would be okay. Now that I'm elementary, I see 5th graders could handle that with a parent there as well. So that's kind of our itinerary. Be back in Chicago on the 14th.
I have a travel agent that I work with, who's never steered me wrong before. And she said that, an airline named Cathay, not spelled how we spell it, but, they're a pretty reputable airline that she feels confident about. So, literally I would have the informational meeting April 8th, that Wednesday we get back from spring break. So, we already in anticipation, if you guys do approve of it, we have a poster ready to go to send out literally tomorrow to try to drum up enough participants for this.
Sure.
Because with the fees,
You have me to skip ahead?
sure, yeah,
Or
That's the great, they went to the Great Wall.
here we go back and, yeah.
Yeah, so that was, 2017 when I went, that was the Aller boys and we got to visit a lot of the schools. That's why they want us to go in June because they're still in school.
Okay.
So I said I could do August, but the main point is seeing the school. So they took us to these are the public schools and which were a lot bigger classes, like 50 kids. And then we toured their school too, which was smaller. That was when we went to the Great Wall in Beijing. So you could see we had a lot of parents go that time too. It was a lot of middle school students and a couple high school kids.
the school wants us to come so badly, they're willing to pay for half of the travel costs. And then they're also willing to pay for a lot of our hotel costs and food. So I know looking out there, you are not going to get a cheaper trip to China ever in your lifetime. That's why I think we'll fill it, even if it's with more adults than kids, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because no one's ever going to get this experience. We're going to go to 8 major cities in China, northern and southern provinces. So I'm super excited. Like this was kind of different on my list, right, to go to, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So super psyched.
Christine does a fantastic job organizing their stay when they go over here, and I think we do a phenomenal job hosting, but I always felt a little sheepish because it's like, it's not even, don't even bother trying to compete with them on hosting just because they do things like that. It means a lot to them, yeah.
Big welcome ceremony, gifts every day. I had to buy another suitcase when I was there. They gave us so many gifts. It's amazing how they treat us. I was on the news, interviewed a couple times. They're just so excited to have Americans visit their city.
Yeah, so the pricing, yeah, that's 2 full weeks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Different hotels.
Yes.
And host families in Weifang where the academy is during that time. And we always pay our host families, but they would do it for free.
Safety, a check. They said no extra vaccines are needed right now. There is a guide from the school that meets us in Beijing, so it's not Mr. Henley and Mrs. Seconder Freeze taking everybody around Beijing, right? So there will be a guide there.
It's the teacher that took us around in 2017, and she was here visiting before the board meeting, so she didn't make it, but she was in Elkhorn a week before.
And I do anticipate there will probably be more adults than kids on this trip, just because of the short turnaround for the timeline.
So the guide is a school employee, not a professional guide or anything like that. Okay.
An English teacher. She has perfect English, and she was with us the whole time. Took us to Beijing. Susan. Yeah, Mavis will be there too, but Susan is the one that came to the airport and got us to Weifang. Takes us to all the local.
The owner of the school lives in New Jersey. Splits time between China and New Jersey. David on and
random.
Yeah. His wife, I think she's a doctor. I believe she's a doctor in New Jersey, but yeah, he's been back and forth. So,
Forbidden City.
It's on the agenda.
And that's their school.
I think I didn't know when I went to Weifang. I think I'm really interested if I don't know what the museum looks like, but there was a Japanese POW camp of American pilots in Weifang. And because American pilots helped in World War II and they were really revered in that city and that location. So I think that would be neat to see or look into. Yeah.
You could bring some American fish as a gift.
Oh, it was right there.
Well, there is something that's famous from Wisconsin, that it's the ginger from Wisconsin. It's
Oh.
apparently
Sure.
Yes.
known in China. So
Interesting.
I don't know how expensive it is, but
Well, yeah, I have been watching as well for the level. When I saw this was on the agenda, I've been watching for the last couple of weeks, and it has been at level 2. I checked with my friend at the State Department, and he's comfortable with that as well. So as long as the level stays at 2,
Right.
if it moves to 3, then I would ask that
Travel
the.
insurance included.
Okay, and does the travel insurance cover that type of situation if the threat level would move to a 3?
I can check with my,
Okay.
my person, but, it's pretty good insurance. That's the
Yeah.
stuff I've always had when
Yeah,
when I've gone. And 205 is for an adult. So
Okay.
obviously students would be less of a cost.
Oh.
I just estimated higher.
Okay,
So it probably won't even be as expensive as I.
Based on age,
Sure.
the younger you are, the cheaper.
yeah, there's just, the world stage is a little unstable right now, so I would just want that,
Yeah.
that would be my personal request that you not go if it moved to a level 3.
That does make sense.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions or any concerns or anything? Okay.
I move to approve the overnight travel request to China as presented.
Do you want to make it? contingent
Yeah,
on
you want to make
the,
it contingent upon the,
Contingent upon it stays at a level 2.
I'll second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the overnight travel request to China as long as the threat level stays at a 2 or less. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion passes.
thank you very much.
The trip back to your dad.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be amazing.
Thank you.
Please.
Okay, moving on to the approval of our minutes from the March 9th, 2026 school board meeting. Then we also have a closed session from that meeting. I believe everyone was here, so we can do the motion.
Students have to abstain.
Oh, yeah. You can
You've got
do
your
them
motions.
together if you want, because that's right. The students.
were.
Yep. Correct.
They can still vote. I did look at this. It's their vote would just
Apply to.
apply to giving the confidence that they trusted the
Okay.
members that were in the closed session.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve the minutes of the March 9th, 2026 regular and closed session school board meeting as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the March 9th, 2026 regular and closed session school board meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Next is our general and other fund bills. Mr. Pearl?
The business office offers for approval the following U.S. Bank checks numbers 155-730 and 155-732. DMO check numbers 161-876 to 16950. Wire numbers 1159 to 1161 and 1217. ACH numbers 653 to 696 for a total of $3,715,677.99.
And just for those who may be watching and wondering why there was such a large expenditure this time, we paid our debt service. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So the referendums that we've had, the past referendums that we've had,
That was $3.1 million of the
of
payments.
the 3.1 of the 3.7, yes. Okay, so that's why that number is so high. Are there any questions for Mr. Earl? I just had one. For marketing on the move, I wasn't quite sure what that was for. It said SL College. Right.
So that's part of our expansion charter school grant where we
Okay.
are part of the creation of the SLCA is it's
SLCA. Okay.
it's marketing money.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it's built into the grant.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I just wasn't
Yeah,
sure what
the
that
new charter,
designation
it
was.
takes a little while for me to really, Southern Lakes College Academy.
Yep.
is the new charter, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. If there's no other questions, then looking for a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the general and other fund bills, March 23, 2026. U.S. bank check numbers 155-730 to 155-732. PMO check numbers 161-876 to 161-950. Wire numbers 1159 to 1161 and 217, and ACH numbers 653 to 696 in the combined amount $3,715,677.99 as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the general and other fund bills of March 23rd, 2026. U.S. bank check numbers 155-730 to 155-732. BMO check numbers 161-876 to 161-950. Wire numbers 1159 to 1161 and 1217, and ACH numbers 653 to 696 in the combined amount of $3,715,677.99. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. And now the favorite part of the evening, the student representative report.
Yeah, so first at the high school, we're getting ready for our El Coronel, it's formerly known as the OKO, which raises money for individuals in the community. This year we chose the Empowerment Fund for the ADS. And then this event is where students play games and like fundraise, do redos, buy stuff at the bake sale, just to raise money. Last week ago-ish, the girls basketball went on to state and did walkthroughs at different schools and a state send-off through the town. Then the EHS Culinary Arts Program offered a baking showcase for their community Saturday, March 21st. The auto team had a competition at a tech school in Lissell, Illinois. One team placed first and won $10,000 in scholarships and $4,000 in tools. And then prom tickets are now being sold.
All right. I was very humbled. The students reached out to ask, what they could contribute to help out families and students in the district. And take a moment, if you don't mind, you mentioned it's the Empowerment Fund. The Elkhorn Area School District Education Foundation accepts donations, and then we in return sent from that foundation to the District Empowerment Fund, which the school district social workers have oversight over. They reach out and ask myself for approval when they're helping a family, but if we have a family who's homeless, who can't access, and they work to make sure that you've checked with all the county resources, the ecclesiastical resources, but even with checking through all that, sometimes it's, that family's going to be living in a car. And we utilize those funds and those donations to help put them up in a hotel. The Holiday Inn Express has been wonderful in giving us a really steeply discounted rate that we can put the families in there for a week to 3 weeks. I think the longest stay we had was a month before they could find a different, more permanent solution for the families. And so I'm very proud of the fact that, I don't have to lay up at night thinking about, the mom and the daughter sleeping out of the car in the middle of winter because of donations from people like that, food shortage needs, gas card needs, emergency type piece that are gaps in our local safety net situation, up into extermination of bed bugs from a house or an apartment that can be very costly for a family. So thank you to the students for helping for that. And if there's anyone out there that wants to contribute to something like that, the Elkhorn Education Foundation is there, and we can ship the monies over there. So it was a way to, we have to handle the money that way to, so we're not using district funds for the private needs. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
The classes all put together like raffle baskets too, that people from the community are able to put money in towards it.
Oh, great.
Over at the middle school with fundraising as well, they had their March Madness basketball tournament, and they had activities such as like the pep band performance and raffle baskets as well. And when I checked, they were able to raise over $1,000 through that activity and all of the different fundraising that they did. And then additionally, over at the middle school, this year they're going to be hosting the annual creativity conference for the different elementary schools, and it's Jackson, Westside. And this will allow students to just represent individual projects that they come up with and create on their own options, students as well.
So at Jackson, students dressed up for the St. Patty's Day and decorated some cookies. Jackson also had a spring showcase, which demonstrated students' writing, math, and project lead the way and research projects. And then they had a mystery bucket dump, which is where they like met our school, where they like dumped mystery liquids and gross stuff all over their teachers' heads.
Oh.
And then they
I have a picture of it, but it's shown on like.
yeah, it's not showing up there. But they met their goal and raised over $13,000 to help kids with special heart needs.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay, so they had protective
Mystery.
everywhere. Funny.
Activities, the student council is putting on a fundraiser all by themselves to help raise money and supplies for the animal shelter. So they picked up 3 different animals, and they're listing all items that might be needed for these animals. Students and the families and students can come together and bring these items in. And then kindergarteners, first graders, and second graders all started to work together in their music classes to put together the spring program. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about the 4-H extension group coming in to talk about careers, different teaching the kids how to make bread, doing like an owl pellet dissection. This week, the 3rd grade classes learned the process of cleaning water. And then there's also spring picture day activities and yearbook forms are available.
At Westside, the student council did a service project, which after school, the Westside 5th grade student council students stayed to make tie blankets for the cozy closet at the Treehouse Child and Family Center. And then students put on their wax museum and displayed their bibliographies.
So at Options, as we talked about the other way too, they started their statewide advertising campaign. And so they've been pushing out a lot of messages. And a couple things that they shared is that the past year, students were able to save over $10,000 in receiving college credit. And so they didn't have to put that towards college tuition. Following that, one student was able to enter college with 35 credits, putting them closer to junior standing compared to a freshman standing. One completed like every single physics class that the school offered, even like the ones at the senior level. And then students, basically this whole process allows students to take high school classes and college courses simultaneously. And both factors. So they've really been trying to push out the benefits of options, not just for people who may need a different type of schedule, but also who want to take advantages of these programs. And then they also, with that, hosted another virtual open house.
Okay.
So at CCA, the chef Chad gave students an honest look at what it takes to build a successful business and pursue a passion. The youth build students jumped at the opportunity to interview for apprenticeship positions with Adams Electric. And then 3 of our career and college academy students, apprentices, Abel Chavez, Yoshi Ortiz, and Paige Freeberg, had an incredible opportunity to attend the Youth Apprenticeship Day at the Capitol this week. And then for Read Across America Week, CCA students did some research on the importance of literacy and created infographics. Elkhorn Youth Build recently had the opportunity to visit Cunis, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Elkhorn for an inside look at the many career paths within the automotive industry.
Yeah, the Youth Apprenticeship Day up at the Capitol, they went around they were assigned different legislators' offices to go and work with and speak to them about the importance of supporting the youth apprenticeship funding and policy structures that the state has.
Great. That's good.
And then all across the district and the community, there's another meeting for the autism parent and caregiver support group. Also this Saturday, high school hosted the Elkhorn Community Talent Showcase where any of the students or all across the district were able to come and perform their own act. And then there's also the blood drive coming up on March 28th. We even have students that come if they're eligible and they go and help contribute. And if they can't, there's also many students that help volunteer, whether it's just setting up, giving out like snacks. Sometimes our FCCLA group actually makes the snacks. Like, they make little like pot pies or pizzas, kind of as like an incentive, like give blood and you get some food. So yeah, that's something we hope to have another big turnout.
That's great. All right.
Stuff going on.
Yeah. Everyone's busy. Thank you very much. All right, now we will move on to our director's report. Mr. Rasmussen is here to. I'm glad you're feeling better this year.
Thank you. Yes. I'm gonna sit. That's right.
Yes, Mr. Rasmussen is our technology supervisor, and I think a couple of the board members had questions related to our security system, internet filtration, how that works, what it looks like. So I thought nobody better to explain than Mr. Rasmussen.
Yes.
And I do want to.
In layman's terms, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Layman's terms is my specialty.
All right.
All right. So we're just gonna go over securely content filtering. I just got a couple slides for you. So the background is a cloud-based content filter, so we don't host anything on district property. So it's all just a website. They categorize sites for us based on a few categories. Games, streaming media, gambling, e-commerce, shopping, those kinds of things. We're then given the decision on what to allow through. So it's just a slider we can choose to turn off or on certain categories. If a category comes up that we don't agree with, like a website, we can request them to recategorize it and they will. So the way we deploy it, we have an extension on all of the kids' Chromebooks, iPads, and Windows computers and staff. And that's what filters them. So they cannot access any internet resources unfiltered. So no matter what they do on their Chromebooks, it's always going to be filtered. It follows the device anywhere in the world. So they're always going to be filtered. And then for our guest networks, so like staff and guest, we use what's called DNS filtering. So even if you use your own cell phone, it's still filtered. That's just how we monitor and filter all of our devices. This is just an example of the block page that comes up. So when you're in trouble, this is what pops up for you. I don't know why they decided gnomes, but they did. So this was me. So you can see my name is listed there. I was trying to go on gambling.com and I got busted. So you can see the category is gambling/games, and that's not allowed. So that's why the filter came up. All right, and then I think there were some questions about the parent side of things, how our parents can see it. So I provided a video that Securely gives us. If you can play that, that'll kind of go over the highlights of the parent portal. All right, so then I'll just go over the parent privileges that we allow, which is pretty much everything that they give us access to. So they're able to see student activity, whether at home or in the classroom, so they can see any websites the kids use. They have the ability to block any sites while off school grounds. So as soon as a Chromebook leaves our confines, that's when the parents' own personalized blocking plan would come in place. And then we have that turn off as soon as they're on school grounds. So there was some parents that had blocking plans in place that made it hard for, like, they Google Drive blocked. Students need access to those things, so ours takes over during the day.
I will say, so again, when they take that computer home, the school blocks are still on, parents can get more restricted.
Yes.
If the parent has a concern within school, they can also contact and ask the school within the school setting, hey, I'm struggling with my student this. Will you also block those at school? And we can, do you call it blacklisting?
Yeah, we have like 4 or 5 personalized plans. So depending on what students are having problems with, blacklist is like just Google Drive, like the essential websites. The gray list is like no social medias of any kind or YouTube, some time, like common time wasters. So we have different levels that we can apply. And then they can also set time limits and or offline hours. So you could say at 8 o'clock every night, your Chromebook's off until 6 o'clock the next morning.
Why are we allowing social media at all? Why is that a gray area, not a?
Yeah.
So we only allow the websites that we have pages for, so like Facebook.
So we use social media from the school-based platform and so forth, and so we have access to those same platforms. Like we have the high school or the middle school Facebook page, and the reason why we allow it, I mean, the kids are we're using it as that school entity. We want the students to. It doesn't mean that we want them to go and create the pages, but also if they're using the school computers to access the social media, which is the safer, we have the footprint of the, I don't know what you call it, but we have the tracing, the ability to identify if there's bullying or self-harm behavior or those type flag words or access through that device. If everything's pushed to just their phone or their personal device, and none of that, unless they're on school grounds, is tracked or utilized.
I thought there was a conversation not too long ago that we were going to allow LinkedIn, and maybe I'm missing something. Can they get on, like, they can just go on their Facebook at any time and go do whatever they want social media wise?
Facebook is unblocked.
Okay, so they can't do like TikTok or Snapchat or any of that.
It's just anything that the school district has a footprint on.
Okay.
So I
So
believe
currently we have Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, I thought there was a whole conversation we had about this not too long ago.
I feel like, at least at the high school, I feel like it's never been too much of a problem.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I would probably use it differently than like other students, but if I've ever gone on the Facebook, it's like to look at school stuff. So if I want to do it, I'll just go on my phone. But
Facebook for all people, like us.
yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
But and see at like other levels it could be. I feel like the high school, personally, I've never seen it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a problem
Okay.
for kids.
All right, I'm understanding. Yeah, we had said that it was LinkedIn, Facebook, but you can't do the TikToks and the Snapchats and all that. Okay.
Yep, those are all.
Okay. All right, got it. Thanks for clarifying that.
But it's only blocked on our issued Chromebooks. So if they're using their personal phone device, they can still access whatever they want.
Yeah, we can't control the person.
Yeah, we can't.
As long as they aren't on our guest networks. So if they're at any point connecting to our network, then they can't.
Okay, but if they're running off of data
Mhm.
and not the network, then they can.
So if they're on the school district's guest then we have some control.
It's still, yeah, it's blocked. So those websites are blocked. We can't really see like who's doing what on those policies, but we can still allow certain websites through or not through. So we have all those websites blocked.
I don't know, is that something kids do? I mean, I automatically, when I go onto the guest Wi-Fi here, I don't know, do kids do that?
I was gonna
No.
say,
We don't
have
have
unlimited
access
data.
to all of them. I think usually a lot of time kids will just use like one
Yeah.
data.
Okay.
But yeah, like on your phone, you can't go on like the staff network or.
No, but
I think you can go on the guest one.
there's a guest one.
On the guest one,
But
but
I know a lot of students don't even connect because it think it's too slow on their phone.
Our guest network isn't available in most places that students have phones. So at the high school, it's not available except in like the common areas, so the cafeteria, library. Middle school, I don't think it's available anywhere, maybe just the office. The elementaries, it's allowed like everywhere. But we use staff in those areas, which is a password protected. You have to sign in with your Google account website that our staff can then use or our guests can use. They come in. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna be looking at, after this, the revised communication device policy. So some of this discussion can kind of happen after this as well.
Yeah.
With regard to that policy, so.
Yeah, the reality is by the more restrictive we get on it, the sooner it drags them over to the other device where they don't have the restrictions on it. I like having that, and I think we need to teach kids appropriate use and some of that modeling.
Right.
And also, I like that at least there's, if somebody does make some bad decisions on the school device or through that network piece, we can track that back, we can have it recorded, and we can hold them to a level of accountability that we can't if they do it on their own.
How often is that happening?
Good question, I don't.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
How often are kids abusing, or do we have significant issues with the?
I mean, the middle school is probably our biggest culprit. We have like maybe one request for like blacklisting of a student a week. We check into kids quite frequently, but
also because middle schoolers haven't quite figured out the whole. Well, I can use my personal device,
Or they don't have a smartphone.
or they don't have a smartphone. Yeah.
But we get we have like filtering emails, so we'll get emails if you're typing certain things, all those things. So we get a few of those a day, just to, and then someone checks on those kids. So
okay, makes sense.
All right, so then this is our favorite thing in the tech department is securely evasion. There's always some hacker at a school, one of the schools that's getting around securely.
Yep.
Usually they're not, but
They're trying to.
yes. So students are always trying to maneuver around the filter, get access, right? They think we're too restrictive, and then they get put on the blacklist and find out how restrictive we actually are. But we follow these steps to mitigate the concerns. So bi-weekly, I have a ticket that gets sent to one of my techs, and he gets this securely best practices document here. Don't read it; it's very boring. But it basically just says like, do these things to stay up to date with what we recommend, so kids can't get around it. He goes through it and just double checks all of our settings. So he just ensures that if the document's been updated, we know what it is, and we know that it's already been implemented. So we just verify, like most of it's like URL and certificate blocking. So like there's a new GitHub thing and you can get around securely this way. It's usually a YouTube video with like a 6-year-old kid that's explaining how to get around securely.
Oh.
So we find that sometimes we find it before securely does, and then we send it to them, and then they can create the here's how you block it. And then, like I said, if we find students evading securely, we always take these steps. We report the issue securely so they can update those best practices, and then we just block any sites that they're utilizing to get around the filter.
Or can that kid that's trying to be the hacker, is that student identified?
Yep, and we'll usually recommend them for blacklisting to the building principals. As a technology department, we don't choose to blacklist any students. We let the administration in that building choose disciplinary measures, but we'll just recommend, hey, this is what this kid's up to. Be able to prove. they can go forward how they wish.
Sure.
I'm gonna put them in coding classes.
They also have a way to request sites that they need and or want. I accidentally somehow started receiving those requests last week. It was quite a few. Spotify was a very common one that I probably got 4 requests in like 2 days for Spotify. I actually had one student request for a site to be blocked that he felt should be blocked. That was the first site.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But we will have sometimes when students are doing research projects, where they'll need to work with the tech department because some of the subjects or the topics, it gets really hard to locate or find content that you can get hold of. For example, when I was a Spanish teacher, we do a unit on the Spanish Civil War. The anarchists were a political party, the largest political party in Spain at the time, and anarchists were one. So you couldn't research, the historical party.
The last thing, 99% of the requests that we get to block sites are just game websites. So cool math games.fun. Can you, like, a teacher will be like, can you block this site? It's categorized as educational games. It's not. So we'll add that to our block list.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Roblox.
Roblox is always around. Sometimes it's Robux, sometimes it's RoBLX. They're always looking for a way on. Yeah.
Roblox.uk.
Yeah. I know I'm getting old because it was Minecraft when I first started. It was always Minecraft.
Yeah.
Now it's Roblox.
Yep. Yeah. Mine was Atari.
I think what's important though, and that I like getting the weekly report of the kids' usage. And myself as a parent, we've empowered with the tool securely. They can get as restrictive as they want at home, including setting the time, Chromebooks off at this time to that time. And so the parents really do have complete control. And also if a parent ever says, well, I don't want my kid to bring the Chromebook home, then they can request that the school can arrange that and that they don't.
I think I missed this section. But yeah, we add new parents every week. So if you enroll your kid that Monday, you get added to the portal automatically. It's whoever the 2 emails that you give us. It sends you an email saying, hey, like, welcome to Securely. Here's how you download the app and log in. You're automatically subscribed to the app report emails. So every week you get a report. This is the website your kids are using. And I just had some statistics. We have 3,000 visitors to the portal in the last calendar year. That's not unique visitors. So there could be one parent that went on there 3,000 times. I don't know. But we also have 4,500 total email subscribers. So 4,500 people are getting the emails every week about what their kids are up to. And that's all I have. Sorry, I missed that part.
That's all right. Great. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for keeping us secure. And
Curious, any other thoughts from the students who deal with this on a regular basis, or?
I mean, I think it works great.
Yeah.
I think, I think it's a good ability to be able to filter things out and off, because there are some times when you have to do a certain project. Like if I'm in an anatomy class, I have to look up questionable stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to get flagged, but so I think it's good.
So is there a way, like, if you're gonna do a paper or something, you have to look something up that you think might get flagged. Is there a way for you to communicate with the tech office that?
I usually just type it in one letter off. So I had to do one on breast cancer last year.
Okay.
And I just typed in beast cancer. And it did get through.
It did go through.
Yes.
A hacker.
Or the teacher, it was a heads up that they're looking up topics on depression or on things, and then we don't even, you probably didn't get sick through. We just had the heads up from the teacher, and then we don't have to. We can see that a teacher went through that they're looking at the question.
Okay.
And we have different relationships with different students. We have some of our gateway students that are taking criminal justice.
Yeah.
They'll have all their YouTube videos will be blocked. We just get in touch with that student. Hey, if you run anything, send it to us.
Okay.
And usually it's all from the same YouTube channel, so we'll just approve that YouTube channel. So
Okay.
it's kind of like I said, every situation is a little bit different.
Sure.
So, and we have also some less restrictive blocking fines for some of those students as well.
Okay.
So that allows like health research, things like that.
Okay.
2026.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I do hope, and I'll be curious at our national level, as you see other countries beginning to block social media for those that are under the age of 16. It'll be interesting to see if that carries through the US. I would like to see
Yep.
the laws change in that fashion and that structure. But
I mean, I guess that's good, except for I will tell you, most kids will
lie about it.
falsify their birth date.
Right.
Well, I think along with the legislation, they need to also put in the measure, you know, how are you gonna validate that you're 16?
Correct. Right.
You know, which the technology's there, upload your ID, verify. You know, when I open a bank account,
Yes.
there's a lot of verification steps you have to go through. So there's ways, if the legislators put it in the law, the technology's there.
I mean, because I think Facebook,
You're right, it's 13 and there are kids that are getting in
I
the
was gonna say,
text.
I know that my 8-year-old niece had a Facebook account when she was 8, and
Yeah.
her parents put it up, you know, that she was already 13. Well, okay, I mean, her friends were just the family, but
Yeah.
still, she's out there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start playing vodka.
All right. Moving on to a first reading of our revised policy that the policy committee looked at our last meeting. So we have a policy on the books right now. But there's new legislation through the state, through Act 42, that we have to have in place by July 1st. And in the past, what our policy states and what the handbook states are two different things, right? What our current policy, because this is what you see crossed out there is our current policies. But our handbook in practice says something very much along the line of what we're proposing here in this new policy, but this has never been at this level of a policy. It's only been part of our handbook. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
So
is this a Neola policy?
So this is a Neola policy.
With the,
Yes.
you guys took out the stuff that you didn't want.
Correct. I don't know, did we alter it in any way? I don't remember.
Not significantly.
Yeah.
So this would take the place of our 443.6. Because it needs to be done before we'll be done with all the new.
Correct. So we've had this stuff in practice over the last several years because it's been part of our handbook, but it's never been official policy. So now we're making an official policy because the state is forcing us to, which is fine.
And so no real changes from
practice
to this. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
For the background for everybody.
Yep. So hopefully you had a chance to read through all of that. Those of us who are on the policy committee did review it and
Yeah, I didn't have any questions.
Yeah.
I have only one question and it only pops into my head based on what just happened
Yeah.
or what we were just discussing.
Yep.
On letter I in the list, any other web-enabled devices of any type, does it need to say or data devices? Because if a student, or is that inherent in cellular and mobile?
well,
phone?
if you have data on your cell phone, it's a web enabled.
Okay,
device.
all right. I guess I didn't.
Covers everything.
Oh, okay, all right, I guess
That brings me to my question. In the policy here I'm reading, students may not use their PCDs on school property or school-sponsored activity to access and or view internet sites that are otherwise blocked by. How are we enforcing that?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to enforce that? I mean,
right.
We just heard from both of these because, well, if I can't get it on I just grab my phone and look it up. I don't know how we enforce not, I mean, if it's gonna be a policy, we have to have an enforcement, do we not?
We do, it's more like an autopsy type enforcement, I would describe it. So it's after the offense takes place, an issue's arisen, you know, it's referred to the principal, they're made aware of it. And then going back through, they can identify that we have a policy against you doing that, you violated it. Here's our proof that you violated it, and they can hold them accountable for that. That's, you know, the most common way that we enforce it. We're not, if a teacher is in the classroom and they're going through, obviously the kids aren't supposed to have it out. If it is in that exception period, because they're supposed to do a learning activity, but they're on something they're not supposed to, because we have it on policy, they can enforce it then. But more often than not, it's when there's been a violation and a report outside of it, and someone's taken a screenshot or grabbed, look, this kid posted this on Snapchat. Because unless there's a screenshot, we're not going to see the Snapchat items anyways, because they go away typically after how long on the Snapchats? Kids,
I think you can set your.
Depends on how you set it, right? Yeah. So most of what we're doing when we're enforcing things like that, Ellen, would you say it's usually from screenshots or reports from other students? Yeah, so I don't know if that's the appropriate term to use, but it's more like a backwards investigation after it happened. Yeah.
I mean, short of, which some schools are doing this,
Banning them.
short of completely banning phone use at all during the school day. I mean, right now we're allowing it in between classes, lunch breaks, before and after school. So short of banning it completely on school grounds,
They don't use it through school.
Yeah, not at the middle, just at the high school.
yeah, that's correct. At the middle school, they can't have them, correct?
They take them to school, they have them on their person.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was just, my kids, when they were in middle school, they had to be off and in their locker.
Sure.
So that brings up a good point. This is, do we need to define what the policy is at the middle school then? Because I don't think this does. This is just a blanket policy. So unless we define
it covered in the handbook for each building. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, because that's high school students may use PCDs before and after. Well, middle school students can use it before and after school, correct? But not during the lunch break or in between classes.
So do we need to add a statement in there that defines that for the middle schoolers?
We should probably add that in for the second reading,
Yeah,
the delineation between middle school and high school.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring that up in our number.
Well, and for that matter, I hate to mention it, but even elementary.
I was gonna say,
Good job.
my kids had their phone when they were in fourth. I gave them a flip phone when they were in fourth grade because actually one of them was at the middle school and one of them was at elementary school, and I needed to know where elementary school was. And the only way to get a hold of her was through a cell phone. So she had a flip phone, but as a flip phone, it wasn't a smartphone.
All right, we'll delineate that for elementary, middle school, and high
There's
school
no
as well.
such thing as internet on a phone.
All right,
Okay, so this is just the first reading. If you have any other comments or things that you'd like to see added, whatever, just message Mr. Tadlock or myself or whatever, and then we can look at that at the next meeting as well.
all right.
All right, moving on to personnel recommendations. Mr. Tadlock?
All right, we have a number of resignations. Mr. Grodchek has his resignation effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. Nieves Gonzalez, for grounds.
How long has he been with us?
That's a good question. I probably at least 8 or 9 years, I believe.
Okay.
It could be longer than that.
Okay.
But he accepted a position over at the city
Oh, okay.
department. Anna Pyle, Deborah Kenyon, Annette King Hummel is appointed as a support staff at risk tutor. Morgan Rudolph as an athletic coach, and Jeff Tischer as a middle school track assistant coach. We want to thank them for all their years of service. Mr. Gotchuk was, I believe, 25 years of service to the district. So I want to thank all of them for their service and also welcome those new members to the team.
So looking for a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the personal recommendation sheet, March 23, 2026, including new employment contracts, condition upon passing background check, and district mandated drug screening as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the personnel recommendation sheet for March 23rd, 2026, including new employment contracts, conditioned upon passing the background check and district mandated drug screen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Looks like we have 4 gifts to present this evening.
Yes, Peter Schmaltz has donated various items and parts to the machining shop at Elkhorn Area High School, valued at $13,928.81. The Penguins swim team has donated $250 to Snack in a Pack. St. Patrick's Church has donated $750 for snacks at each school, and the Nicholas D. Surgery Foundation has donated volunteer shirts for the 2026 Great Give Back event valued at $1,500.
When is the Great Give Back happening this year? Is it in April usually? I think.
It's a great question. I'd have to.
That you're nodding?
You should get back. Yeah, it's April.
Do you know when it is? No.
Is it the 3rd? I think is it the Saturday before prom?
I could answer that.
Yes, John.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, a voice from
Well,
above.
John, go ahead.
Yeah, May 2nd this year.
Oh,
May 2nd, okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Yep,
What's the event? Okay.
Great give back.
the Great Give Back, because it's mostly the sports teams, right? Or is it anybody? I can't.
I think it's open anyway. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, you tell us.
Yeah, it's anybody that goes to the high school. So sometimes there's clubs involved, sports. Yeah, could be the fine arts.
And you work to put all of those, the organizations that are going to be helped, you line those up for our kids to go and serve at, right?
Correct. And then Durham Bus is so kind that they send 2 buses that morning to take the kids to the sites.
Free of charge?
Donation, yes.
Wow, that's great. What are you laughing?
That's how you said it.
I don't know, it wasn't free, but.
We're always looking for chaperones if any of you are available between 8 and 1 p.m. on that day.
Okay,
I'm busy.
All right.
great, thank you. All right, looking for a motion to accept.
I move to accept the generous school gifts as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the generous school gifts as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you to each of those organizations and to Mr. Schmaltz. Did Mr. Schmaltz have a auto shop or something? Like I'm not familiar with
I'm not sure.
like why.
Why is he at social
Yeah.
shoe shop?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. You would have like a connection. Okay, well, that was quite a nice donation. All right, Mr. Charlock, you have some announcements?
Just a number of upcoming meetings. You've
Yeah.
got listed there for April, the Personnel Committee on the 9th at 12 p.m. Policy Committee will be on the 13th at 11 o'clock a.m. School Board meeting will be on the 13th. Then election of canvas on 7:30 a.m.
On the 14th.
On the 14th, yeah.
Mrs. Kostock will be the serving as the deputy clerk since our clerk is on the ballot. So.
Do you have a date for the budget hearing?
Oh, yeah, that's the 15th.
Wednesday the 15th.
That's
Yeah.
March
Well, I should have
15th.
put that one on there too.
Oh, yeah. Or,
Wednesday,
sorry, April
April
15th.
15th.
April 15th, yes.
You can remember, it's tax day.
Yeah, exactly.
13th is the next, the
Exciting, I know.
13th is the next school board.
The 13th is the next school board meeting, and then the 15th is the budget meeting.
Yep. I have it down for 5 to 8 o'clock.
Okay. Yes. I fly out.
Every day of the year.
Okay, looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Seconded
Think I wanted to go. Huh?
adjourn the meeting, roll call vote please.
Mr. Andre,
Yes.
Mayor Gordon,
Yes.
Mrs. Ingersoll,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mrs. Reckley's,
Yes.
Mr. Scarrow,
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn, Mr. Green,
Yes.
Ms. Krakowski.
Wonderful. Thank you all.